Hey guys, what's going on? Chris here doing another 4K Blu-ray review. Today, well tonight rather, I'm going to be doing it on Darkest Hour. And this is hands down exactly what 4K and HDR was made for. Out of the 177 discs that I own, that is now the #1 top reference quality disc that I will go to show people why this format is absolutely amazing and why it's the best way to experience a movie from the comfort of your own home. I know a lot of people will be saying, "Oh, well, what about Pacific Rim?" No, not going to happen. No, but it had all these colors. No. Well, what about the high dynamic? No, I'm sorry, but no. The cinematography in this is just absolutely insane. It lends itself to the format so well. It's ridiculous. It's even hard to really put into words right now how good this looks. It was almost like experiencing the format altogether for the first time all over again. That's how good it is. What I like most about it is the fact that the film, for the most part, relies on nothing but natural lighting. Everything, for the most part, takes place indoors. The camera work is slow, steady, and measured. The contrast that you get between the highlights from the light that shears through a window or a light that's lightly illuminated from a lamp, and the way it contrasts the shadows is just unbelievably insane. But it's not done in like this superficial, stark, contrasty sort of way. It's a very natural, very filmic, very lush sort of image. The skin tones all look absolutely amazing. They're lively, they feel robust, they feel very natural, nuanced. The textures of the clothing, you can make out almost every individual fiber that goes into the clothing. It's insane. The close-up shots of the food and the liquids, the glasses, the parliament, just it's really overwhelming, and it's a visual stimulant, just complete overload. It's so hard to verbalize and articulate in a proper manner just how good this looks. My God, it's insane. It is insane. And the best part is this is not some sort of big budget blockbuster visual effects extravaganza. I don't want to call it a small movie because that's going to be an insult to Joe Wright and all the actors and the people behind the scenes that worked on this film to make it look and sound as good as it does. And just as a film itself, it's absolutely amazing. Gary Oldman was absolutely exceptional in it. It's just to me, it represents the best part of the 4K format, not just so much because of the resolution and HDR side of things, but because it's a smaller movie compared to, the aforementioned Pacific Rim or something like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, where those films are great for what they do and they look great, relative to the stylistic approach that they take. But when you get something like Darkest Hour, and I mentioned it before in one of my previous videos, something like Phantom Thread right here, when you get these sort of smaller films that don't rely on visual effects or any sort of flashy imagery in order to stimulate your mind, it's just something else when Darkest Hour can show you something. And I know that this imagery is going to forever be embedded into my subconscious because it looks that damn good. I mean, it's absolutely exceptional in every degree possible. It is insane. I know I'm just pretty much rambling at this point. I'm not even sure if I'm forming any sort of coherent sentences. But the only thing that I can say is, if you do not own this disc, if you do not own this, you need to. If you love this format, if you're getting into this format, or if you want the best possible viewing experience for this format, it is this title right here. This one. It's not Pacific Rim. Sorry, it's not. It's Darkest Hour. Like I said, the best part about utilizing HDR is when you get natural lighting, when you get authentic film lighting, and you're able to create these very stark, pristine, absolutely gorgeous images. The detail in the shadows while the black levels remain dark is just so beautiful. The way the cameras pan around, the way it's so technically staged, it's just insane. It's overwhelming. It's hard to really put into words. It really is. The audio track is, it's an Atmos track, it's an immersive track, it's solid for what it does. Again, this is not a blockbuster action movie, so you're relying more on, ambience and dialogue and those sort of things, so you're not getting some sort of bombastic, visceral audio track. It's very subdued and laid back, but, you don't have to crank up the volume like you do with Disney's Atmos mixes right now. It's played at a normal volume, and you get pretty much the best audio track that you can get for the style of movie that it is. So to pretty much summarize the video and audio quality, video is absolutely a perfect 5 out of 5. Perfect 5 out of 5. No visual anomalies, no compression artifacts, no banding that I was able to make out, which is relatively impressive considering the strong light sources that come through. With a lot of lighting, you generally can observe some banding, even if it's very minor. Didn't notice any of that. Audio, I'm going to give a very strong 4 out of 5. Very strong. After I stated that it's very good for what it does, you're probably questioning why it's not a 5 out of 5 or at least a 4.5 out of 5. And I guess, maybe I'm reserving a 4 out of 5 because, like I said, the style of film that it is, because it doesn't lend itself to being a very immersive sort of audio style. I guess that's why I'd say it's rather subdued, but that's not a knock against it. It gets the job done for what it does. But for the most part, the best part of this presentation is easily the video presentation. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I cannot stress enough how badly you need to get this disc into your collection and how badly you need to feast your eyeballs onto the imagery that comes through from this disc or this panel. It is insane. I mean, it really is insane. I am very happy with this purchase. I will have it take the Pepsi challenge against whatever your favorite 4K disc is, because this film, it doesn't just represent, a very good 4K HDR presentation. It defines what 4K and HDR is supposed to be. Like I said, what it's supposed to be. It's not just made for something to be a technical setup to show off, how great of a panel and Blu-ray player that you have. This is made to show why you get a very good combination of 4K and HDR and why those mediums and why those tools exist now. It's to give the cinematographer, the colorists, the directors, whoever's working on these films, a broader palette, a broader range of tools to work with so they can hone in not just their craft, but what they want the audience to see, beat for beat, frame by frame, sequence by sequence. It is just unbelievably gorgeous how good this transfer turned out to be for Darkest Hour. I cannot sign off on it enough. Absolutely the best disc on the format so far. So I'm just going to pretty much end it here because I know I'm just starting to sound like a broken record and I'm continuing to go on with incoherent ramblings. But yeah, I'll just say it one more time. Get Darkest Hour on 4K Blu-ray. This is the definitive 4K HDR disc right now. Absolutely 100%. No comparison. So, that being said, I think I'm going to watch it for a second time. I really do. I think I'm going to watch it back to back tonight. It's that damn good. Alright guys, see you.